65k at level 10? Hey guys, it's Royal Cubs and boy do I have one for you today. In the background I have my kill of the world boss T2 when I was level 10, and if you look at the numbers you'll see I was hitting or critting for between 50 to 65k. Let's get straight into it. I did have a full set of armor made for this run and I explain the gear at the end. Now, World Tier 3 Capstone, I decided to try and do a Curator at level 10, but I could not keep my level low enough. Both the High Council and Curator were an absolute walk in the park, and as you can see, just make sure you use your defensive skills to match your low survivability. The Physician can resurrect, so it's always beneficial to kill him first, and then just try to avoid being hit off, stuff on the floor. Now, when it comes to Curator himself, he actually dies before any major mechanic goes off. If the ads do spawn, just utilise your defensives. Now, because of how easy that was, as a joke I thought I'd go straight in for Elias at the World Tier 4 Capstone, and I must admit I had to avoid a lot of the mobs on the way because level 23 means I need both cooldowns for every pull. However, with a few wipes in Alliance, I still killed him within 15 minutes of when the Curator died. Now, that's not a massive ordeal. You do have to avoid some of his mechanics, make sure you've got your cooldowns up for the ad phase, and other than that it's quite an easy fight. The important part is this was level 23. I believe this is the lowest capstone kill solo in Season 4, but if not, let me know in the comments. Now, let's go over the gear. Yesterday we discussed tempering in depth, so I'm going to expect that most of you are aware of how it works. If not, I will put yesterday's video in the description. The gear rolls on the items themselves do not matter majorly. However, any of the armor pieces that can roll armor, that will definitely help you. And on your rings and weapons, you can roll damage percent, 15% on rings, 30% on weapons. There's not a huge amount of things you can actually roll at the low levels, so that's a 60% flat damage increase you can get very easily. For my personal experience for this run, what I tempered was head, chest and legs I put on life. This will give you around 1100 to 1500 extra life. When I killed Elias at level 23, I had 1953 health. I was a barbarian, so I had the 18% multiplier. Without that, I would have had about 1600. For gloves and feet, we had thorns. Now, this will give you about 1100 to 1600 thorns pre-buff. I know this seems low, however, with the damage multipliers we're going to get, plus the 60% flat damage on rings and weapons as I mentioned earlier, this is still strong enough to kill all non-elite mobs, even in World Tier 4. For the neck and rings, you're going to want damage to close or damage percent. Close percent gives a higher flat amount, but it does seem harder to roll. Damage percent is nice and easy to get. And finally, the main change, for the weapon, I have put on 40% chance to deal X damage. You want to aim for as high flat damage as possible. I had 8,000 on this kill, but even if you had 6,000-7,000, you'd still walk through the content. For aspects, there's only one mandatory aspect to bring, which is Needle Flare. However, any defensive and flat damage offensive aspects will help, such as Juggernaut, Protector, Might, or any class specifics you may have, because this will work on any class. And talking about class specifics, we've of course got skills. It's really easy. Defensives. For Barbarian, I used Challenging and Iron Skin. For Druid, I'd use Raw. Sorc, Flame and Ice Armors. Rogue, Dark Shroud, and Necro. Well, Necro just uses Defender minions with the 99% reduction. Send them in, sit back and laugh. They can't proc the weapon, proc of the 40% from your minions. However, the Thorn will kill and Needle will then allow that to busy explode and kill everything. Hope you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and guys, peace.